In the build-up to the Youth Day celebrations that were held on the 12th of March 2018, youths from across Lusaka were hosted to a sports festival at Liberal Secondary School. Among the sports disciplines that were exhibited were football, netball and volleyball. And today on your platform, we look at sport for youth empowerment. I am your host, Macpherson Mkuka. Stay tuned. Peter Sakala, welcome to your platform.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Why are you a footballer?
A footballer because I think this is my talent, and trying to perfect my talent through trainings. And talking about the Youth Day, it's our privilege as youth to participate in this tournament, because many of the youth have enjoyed themselves into drug abuse, some alcohol. So as we are coming here, we are preventing ourselves from being part of those.
How has sport helped you grow as a young person?
Okay. It has helped me grow in a lot in terms of let's say myself. I was once drinking. Then through sports, I learned a lot. And talking of sports, we learn through a lot, and we are advised as youths to go to school while doing sports.
Do you go to school?
Yes, I actually completed last year.
Okay. What are your dreams? What do you want to become? Do you want to permanently be in football?
I actually want to become a footballer, but if that fails, then I'll go to the college. But I have faith in myself that I'll make it.
Would you say you are empowered as a young person involved in sporting activities?
I'm empowered a lot, sir. In terms of, I'm actually inspired by the people that I'm found with, the coaches and the people and the footballers.
Stancy South, welcome to your platform.
Thank you.
Okay. Why do you play football?
It gives me health. It makes me be entertained, stuff like that. Instead of me going doing other stuffs, better I play football.
What do you mean when you say other stuff?
I'd be encourage those girls, like instead of you going doing prostitution, you can just come to the field to train the football.
You are a goalkeeper.
Yes.
How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel very proud. Yeah, like I'm proud of it.
If you were not playing football this time around, what would you have been doing?
Like right now,
If you were not a footballer, what would you have been doing?
I don't know. May lie. Yeah.
You're still watching your platform, and I'm now joined by Godfrey Muntanga, yet another young person who has decided to be part of sports to empower himself. Godfrey, welcome to your platform.
Thank you.
Share with us, what do you think are the challenges facing the young people in Zambia in their quest to develop in sport?
The challenges faced, most of them are faced with peer pressure. Just when they reach puberty stage, they will mostly tend to take drugs and shun football activities because they think as though you can't be successful in football because of the facilities we have in our country. Yeah.
You love football. What good things do you find in playing football?
Good things. It actually prevents me from doing bad vices when I'm not playing football. Yeah, most of my friends don't play football, and they are usually drinking the times when I'm training. Yeah. So
what would be a message to the many young people that while you are here, others are engaged in activities that will not build them in any way?
I would just like them to take part in sport so that they can gain fitness and just to prevent from doing bad vices in the community. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You are still watching your platform, and shortly we'll be talking to Mr. Paul Zulu, who is the Director for Sport Aid Development Trust. Stay tuned. You are still watching your platform, and this time around I'm now joined by Sport Aid Development Trust Director Paul Zulu. Mr. Zulu, welcome to your platform.
Thank you.
Share with us the brief history of Sport Aid Development Trust.
Actually, Sport Aid Development Trust is a sporting NGO that uses sport as a tool for engaging our target groups. Primarily, we are targeting the young people between the age group of 5 to 25. Yes, so we just use sport as a tool to create a platform where they can learn about the issues that affect them.
We have seen a quite impressive growth in the number of academic institutions such as your organizations that are basically looking at issues of developing a sport as a skill in young people.
Yes.
Yours is from 5 years going upwards. Why do you think there is this increase in numbers of such organizations like yours?
Because, there's demand for innovative approaches that would foster development in different communities and the lives of young people. When you look at sport, it's quite an innovative approach because anyone wants to play sport. Everyone participate in sport. Everyone to watch sport. So because of how the nature of sport, the way it is, you could see many organizations coming on board to use sport because it's a way of reaching out to many people at a time, at one time. It's a mass sport. It attracts too many people to come to watch an activity. And we seize that opportunity to engage them in learning, in disseminating specific information on education, on health, on environment and climate change, on governance. So it's just an effective tool. No wonder everyone is coming on board to use it.
What are some of the benefits of sports starting to involve young people in sports at a tender age?
Yeah, there are too many benefits. Sport in itself is medicinal. What I mean by it being medicinal, anyone who participates in sports, it's rare that they'll suffer from diseases like cardiac diseases. Sport helps to maintain fitness. So this is the primary benefit of sport. The other benefit is as they're participating in our sporting activities, we're also developing their talent. Many young people have come from our arrangements. They were excelled. Some they're playing for the national team, football, netball, basketball, you can name them. So it has created employment for them. So actually it has employment livelihood, not for them, but for their families as well. And this is contributing to the national development. Yeah, and sport is also a tool for engaging young people to learn. Just like I said earlier, like we've got more young people here. Okay, they're participating in sport. They're also learning. Like today, they'll be learning about the ICT using sport. Right now, we're using ICT to disseminate information. So we want young people to use ICT as a tool for engaging into entrepreneurship. Besides these other businesses that we can see, but we've not explored how much we can use ICT. So we are using sport to communicate such messages to the young people so that they should adopt ICT approaches for them to engage into businesses.
What are some of the challenges do you face in your quest to empower youth through sporting activities?
The biggest challenge is the resources to use. We don't need just to reach out to the young people in Lusaka or in other cities. There are young people who are in far-fetched areas, in the remote areas, whom we need to reach out. But to get there, we need resources. So this is the biggest challenge that we're facing. We've got partnerships with the government, with cooperating partners, with other CSOs. And it's working for us, but the major challenge is actually the resources.
Going forward, what could be your message of appeal to the many young people that might be thinking sport is just an activity like any other, and it cannot help you develop in any way?
Yeah, like sport, especially well-organized sport, like how we organize sport, is good for young people. So we would appeal to many young people to join such organizations like Sport Aid, Sport in Action, EduSport, because we create a platform, a pathway for them to education, to economic development, to social development, and to health. So we want them to come on board to learn, in order for them to discover what they don't know. We don't just do sport. We integrate education in sport. So I mean that we create that platform where they can learn about many things. I want to also identify their career pathways and all that. So we invite all young people from different walks of life to come and tap into what we are doing and experience the change that we were able to deliver.
when you as media televising to other youths who are there outside, they will be encouraged about taking this sport, and it will age us so much that most of us will not enter into things that will disturb us, but will go into sport. We'll continue establishing more entrepreneurship when we're aged in sports, so that it will be consuming most of our time. We'll be thinking about mostly in sports and trying to do well in sports. It's not only school. You can't only develop in schools. There are people out there who have potential in sports, who can play netball. It's not only a girl who can play netball. Even guys can play netball like us. So if this is aged in Zambia, most of us will have an opportunity of showing our talents, who we are. It's not only in school, but we can also try to do something in sports. Thank you.
How do you feel being a female footballer?
I feel great because women football is easier than men's football. Yeah.
How easy is it?
It's very easy as long as you concentrate on it. It's easy. Yeah.
You played against quite a difficult team. How do you describe the game that you just won 3-1? I described
it through I communicated with my teammates, because others, they are not experienced, but I myself am experienced because I've played many games. So I was talking to them.
What challenges do you face being a female footballer?
As for me, no challenges, because mostly I train with men. So as for me, football is very easy for me because I'm tougher than men. Yeah. What
do you want to become in future? Do you want to continue playing football, a superstar, or maybe you want to get into a different industry?
Exactly, I want to be a superstar. That's the main reason I'm training very hard, because I want to be on the high level.
This is still your platform, and we continue discussing sport for youth empowerment. And I'm now joined by Sports in Action Programs Manager Consolo Mwape. Mr. Mwape, welcome to your platform.
Thank you so much, sir.
Share with us, what is your rating of the performance of sporting-related institutions in Zambia with regards to youth empowerment?
Yeah, I think the performance is 50%, in the sense that there are certain organizations who are putting the focus on the youth development, and there are certain organizations who are not putting emphasis on the youth empowerment. They are focused on result-oriented, performance-oriented, and the others who are involved into build-up of the youth, nurturing the grassroots sport and tapping the young children to get involved into the sport. Yeah.
How effective is sport for youth empowerment?
No, it's a very effective, and it's a very important tool when it comes to sport. You know, as a youth, it's one of the things people want to get involved in. As a child, most of them, as they are still young in the house, they will run after a rolling tennis ball, they will run after a cup and the like. From there on, sport has started. As they walk out of the house as well, they will run from one place to the other. They get out of the yard. One thing which will take them out of the yard, apart from education, to be sport. So sport is a very important tool which is supposed to be utilized effectively. Like we are doing here, we are using sport as a tool to disseminating information to the young ones on various topics and various areas. Yeah.
We are a growing nation, and when it comes to sports, we have seen a steady growth in this particular sector, but the challenge still remains in terms of facilities. How does this affect organizations like Sport in Action to ensure that you bring together the young people and empower them through sport?
Yes, it is one of the challenges we have, and the Sport in Action, we have a program called Repair and Renovation of Sports Facilities, because we believe that is a centerpiece where we're supposed to meet our athletes. Without a football pitch, we won't meet the footballers. Without a basketball court, we won't meet the basketball players. So deliberately, we have done a number of renovations in schools and in communities. We have done a number of facilities ranging from basketball, netball, volleyball, and football pitch, so that we can contribute to the development of sport itself. Right now, what we are doing is we are trying to see how we are trying to bring out the importance of sport development through facility creation. So this is what we are doing, and yes, the government is doing its part, but we need them to invest more in sports facilities. For instance, if we can have 3, 4, 5 sports complexes in Lusaka and same in Copperbelt, Southern Province, and each province, then you are going to achieve the much needed result in terms of sport development.
Are you at any point tapping into the rural area where there's too much untapped talent there?
Yes, at Sport in Action, we have programs which are happening in rural areas. We have programs running in Chongwe, we have programs running in Monze, Mumbwa, Chibombo, Mpika, and the like. So basically what we are trying to do is we are not trying to focus so much on the Rhine of Rail. We want to focus on the unreached communities and enriched areas. We create opportunities for them so that they can get out there, they can be seen, involved in sport and the like. As an organization, we can just do so much. But otherwise, we need everyone to get involved and do activities in the rural areas. Not only in Lusaka, not only in Copperbelt where things are supposed to be done, even outskirts there, things are supposed to be involved in sport.
Going forward, are you happy so far with the numbers in terms of youth participation in sport?
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. We are happy with the numbers we are having in terms of sport. And we just need to keep the momentum where a lot of competing activities, social activities are happening. There are those who are, for us in sport, you are competing to those youths who are drinking. What can we do more to entice those who are going to drink to stop going to drink but to come to sport? Those who are involved in other illicit activities, what can we do to entice them not to go to do those illicit activities and come back to sport? Yeah, so that is what we're supposed to do.
You are still watching Your Platform, a program that gives you an opportunity as members of the public to have views on matters affecting you. Today on the program, we are looking at a sport for youth empowerment. And right now, I'm joined by Bessie Chelem, who happens to be the Director of Sports in the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Madam Chelem, welcome to your platform.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are here at one of the many activities that were lined up for in readiness to celebrate the Youth Day, which was yesterday, Monday. And we just want to find out from you, how did the whole lot of the activities come into play?
Sport plays a key role in the life of a young person. And sport is one aspect or one sector that we really need to ensure that we take advantage as we are empowering young people. Because sport provides a platform for young people to be able to receive information on youth empowerment and understand issues that affect them. Because in sport, a young person is able to have an opportunity to be employed, is able to have an opportunity to get something that is able to improve their livelihood and be able to earn an income of their own. So we were able to celebrate sporting activities during Youth Week, and at Libala we were able to bring together 650 athletes who were participating in different sporting activities. These are participating in football, volleyball, basketball, traditional games, and we also have young people that are participating in traditional games and the other activities that include using sport as a vehicle for social change. This means that we were able to bring information on ICT, information on reproductive health, information on HIV to the young people. The National Sports Policy of 2012 does advocate that young people be given an opportunity to participate in sport as a way of empowering them, because we believe that sport sport is an industry on its own, an industry that is able to create opportunities for young people to be employed. I want to give you an example. We have our athlete Kabange Mpompo, who is a very good athlete in athletics and runs, and as she's running, she's able to raise income, and understand she has been able to build a house, she has been able to buy a car from whatever she's making through running. But in particular in Zambia, football is one of the key sports disciplines that is really attracting a lot of young people. And we have a lot of young people that have been able to go outside the country to play football, and as they are playing football, they are earning an income and they are helping their families. They are able to send back money home, they are able to build houses, they are able to buy vehicles, they are able to help families and their family members to send them to school.
You had a number of supporting institutions such as Sport Aid, Sports in Action, EduSport. How these are organizations that have been helping the young ones to involve themselves in sports, probably from the age of 5 as an academy up to the time maybe they feel now they can stand on their own, they can be professional footballers, they can be professional netballers, professional basketballers. How are you coordinating with such organizations to ensure that the young person is empowered through sport?
The ministry works very closely with Sports in Action, EduSport, Sports Aid, NOSPA, and various other sports NGOs. Through the support that we give them, the sports NGOs have been able to engage with international organizations that are able to give them the financial support that they need. Most of these financial organizations, they will not come and operate in the country without them ensuring that government is in support and government approves of those activities, because they know that government is able to provide oversight, government is able to ensure that there is transparency and there is accountability of the resources that are given to sport NGOs. So we always work with them, and whenever international organizations approach us to verify and be able to ascertain whether it's okay for them to put in resources, we are there with them. And then we've been also able to work with them because they are key stakeholders that are in the communities. And in the communities, we have a lot of young people that have dropped out of school. But through Sports in Action, through EduSport, and in particular the Ghost Sisters program, you see that we have girls that have been able to be sponsored and they are able to go back to school with this support. And as Ministry of Sport, we sit on their steering committee and we do provide guidance which they need. So government is in full support of the work that they are doing, and we are very happy that so far they've done a tremendous job. As you may be aware, they are working with 7 universities from the UK, and we have that good relationship with UK Sport that does support for international financing of the sports NGOs.
Involves maybe us being active as girls. It's important to us girls because we don't usually stay there inside of us, maybe getting pregnancies and stuff. It gets us busy because it educates us and it improves our knowledge in these worldly things, and it makes us aware of all the worldly stuff, bad influences we have there.
Susan Katongo, welcome to your platform.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Share with us, how do you feel being part of being a youth and also being a female footballer?
I feel very happy because when I'm playing football, football makes me fit. Yeah.
What else would you like to do apart from playing football?
I'd like to work as an engineer, or to encourage my friends, or to be a journalist. Yes.
Okay. If you are not playing football this time around, what would you have been doing?
Nothing, because I'll be just staying at home, doing things that are not good. So at least when I go to the ground, I feel good.
What good things do you find in playing football?
Good things I find in playing football, because when I wake up, I feel I'm fit, just things like that. Even those people see me, they start, this girl, she's a good girl.
What challenges do you face?
Challenges like boots and ground. You don't have good grounds. Yes, you find that when you're playing football in the ground, they are just stones. Yes, these are challenges.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You are still watching our platform, and shortly we'll be talking to Edge Sport representative just to find out how they are incorporating youths in sporting activities and help them get empowered through sport. Stay tuned. I'm now joined by Gregory Shikombelo, who happens to be Edge Sports Training and Events Coordinator. Mr. Shikombelo, welcome to your platform.
Thanks so much.
Share with us, why did you decide to enter into sports as a major activity for the youths to empower them?
Yeah, we entered this sports event because it gives an opportunity, for everyone to participate. One, we looked at the mass participation. A lot of people come, watch, and also playing. So for us, it's an opportunity to put our message across. When you're in sport, there's so much excitement. People are concentrating, and also they're also trying to see how best can they learn through the sports program. And if you look at what you are doing now, we are looking at the public health, and our major concern is cholera. So that's what we'll be looking at, and taking this opportunity. Most of the youths who are here, they can be our tool to go out there homes and talk about cholera seriously. That's why we're looking at cholera and taking an opportunity or advantage of this event. It gives us an opportunity to empower and inform the youth the importance of sport and the other life skills.
How is Edge Sport working with the communities to empower youth through sport?
Yeah, Edge Sport is working with the community. We are currently in Lusaka, we are in 18 communities. And how we are working with the community is that as Edge Sport, we are looking at themes. One of the themes we are looking at is the gender issue, to empower girls through sport. We're also looking at HIV and AIDS. We're also looking at environmental awareness. So how we are working with these communities is that we are working hand in hand with them in the way that we form teams within the communities, and those teams are not only sport-based, they're also life skill-based. So what they do is that they will meet each week, they will have a theme. For instance, maybe this week they're looking at cholera, that will be their theme. So they will be sharing that theme during trainings and also during meetings. We've got different action teams in these communities. These are the ones who coordinate Edge Sport activities in the communities. So they form teams, they form committees. As Edge Sport, we facilitate, one, the equipment, secondly, the messages, and also the training so that they can run those sports positively. I call them positive sport. Why do I call them positive sport? One, there's only not sport. They're also learning about a certain life skill. So each week it has got a theme-based week. So for this week, we are looking at cholera, and this is the information we're going to share for a lot of participants who are here.
How impactful is sport for youth empowerment?
It's very impactful because one, as footballers or athletes are playing, they are also learning. I would give you a practical example. Most of the participants who have gone through this, they are able now to understand how sport can relate to life. I'll give you one practical example. In terms of leadership, if you are a captain, you will know that captainship is not just in football. Even when you go outside the football circles, people will always identify you as a captain. So as a youth now, in that community, you make sure that you lead, you behave like a leader, and also you behave like a role model. So those are certain things you can find that sport is impacting. Yeah, leadership development. They also build self-confidence. When you're in sport, there are a lot of activities you have to make sure that you are on top. So that also transferred to the community. It gives them an opportunity also to go to the community and address different issues to their friends, like sharing, peer-to-peer on issues affecting them.
There are a number of challenges that youth face, and you deal with the youth on a day-to-day basis through sports and other skills-related programs. What measures do you put in place, or are you putting in place as Edge Sport to address the challenges facing the youth in their day-to-day active life?
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges, and what we have done as Edge Sport strategically, I'll tell you one thing. People can participate in activities, but if they are not economically empowered, academically empowered, then you are not going to reach your goal or your intended message to them. So what I've done strategically at Edge Sport, those peers and youths who are involved in our activities, most of them, we put them on sponsorship school, which is a part-time sponsorship, just to appreciate and also to bring them closer to come and learn and see that sport can also give you an opportunity to improve or to gain your academic, empowerment. Then also, we have got one program which we look at entrepreneurship. We are saying we can preach the message. We can go out there and motivate us. We can make youth to become athletes, but how are we looking at them in terms of economic empowerment? So as a sport, strategically, we have come up with certain programs. One program we have come up with, we call it Power Sport. This is, in short, it's people working for economic rebirth. So what we're doing that, those participants who are able to start a business, Edsport is supporting them through means of partnership with other organizations.
Okay. And in conclusion, I know Edsport is one of the oldest sports organizations in Zambia. You have produced a number of individuals in the sporting fraternity, especially football, now are famous and are celebrities in that particular area. Just boast a bit on some of the people that you have produced that you can point at and say, these are products of Edsport, and through sports we have managed to empower these people.
Sure. Through sport, the followings are Nathan Sinkala, Roger Kola, Ijani Monde, Foyo Tembo, William Njovu, Jimmy Njovu, Jimmy Chisenga. We have Justin Zulu, and we have also, those are the ones who have passed through our sports program. And that actually, to that extent, that's what sport can do. It can empower you, in the livelihood. You can live well as long as you live by the rules of sport and by rules of life. Because sport is all about the rules of life. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Mr. Shikombelo.
Thank you so much.
You are still watching your platform, a program that gives you an opportunity as members of the public to have views on matters affecting you. We are looking at sport for youth empowerment, and I'm now joined by a young man, Wamundira Mukumbuta. Wamundira, welcome to your platform.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm very fine. Just share with us, why did you decide to engage yourself in sport?
Yeah, as a youth, I just decided to be part of this youth activities. As you know, that I'm a youth also, and I like to contribute myself into sports.
What benefits do you derive from being part of a sport like football?
At the sport football, I like football since I was young, and I like to participate in football and to chase my dreams. Yeah.
What are your dreams?
To be a superstar, just like Ronaldo, or Messi, or Besuma. Yeah, and many others.
Welcome to your platform.
Thank you.
Okay. Share with us, what challenges do you face as a female footballer?
There are many challenges in women's soccer. You'd find that there are many girls who would love to join girls soccer, but it's difficult for them. But as for me, it's a talent. God gave me this talent, so I would love to use it. Yes.
How easy was it to find yourself at Green Buffaloes and being in a jersey also?
It's a big challenge. You know, in Green Buffaloes there are many footballers who are professions there, and me finding myself in that team, as I am talking as at now, I can't lie. I only played in one match, which was a friendly match. Yes.
Going forward, how do you think sports help young people in terms of growth and development?
As for me, I'm fit, as you can see. Yes, it helps us in being fit, and the sports helps you to make yourself busy, because sometimes girls would find that when they are not doing anything, they go to do prostitution whatsoever. Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Let us now look at the challenges that the ministry faces in its quest to empower the youth through sport. What are some of the challenges?
You know, the Zambian population is about over 70% of young people are youths below the age of 35 in Zambia. And what this means is that we have a youth population which needs to be engaged in various sporting activities. Failure to engage young people in sports activities, you then see a situation where young people are into drugs, are into illicit behavior and all that kind of thing. But what we need is to ensure that we have enough facilities which are easily accessible by young people. Facilities that are within the communities where these young people are coming from. So this is one key challenge that we have. Zambia has very few sporting facilities for young people. But what we've done as a ministry, we were able to relaunch the community sport program where we have revamped activities of sport within the communities, and we are using the open spaces which we call community safe spaces. These are open grounds within the communities where we are encouraging young people to participate in sport. And what the government has done, they've been able to acquire sports equipment, footballs and netballs, and these have been distributed in all the 158 constituencies, and they've been distributed to all the districts as well. And we have the various sports spaces that are dotted around the country where young people are able to access these sporting activities. But if you recall, I've said these are in football and netball, meaning that we are yet to ensure that we are able to construct multi-purpose outdoor courts where they can then play basketball and volleyball. And we are also yet to ensure that each of the communities can then have a running track where we have young people participating in athletics and also field events like javelin, shot put and all that kind. But we are working closely with Ministry of Education as well in this particular program. So the Ministry of Youth and Sport has established an interministerial committee with Ministry of Education where we are going to utilize the school playgrounds to ensure that they are accessed by the communities and they are participating in sport. Because at the end of the day, the objective is to ensure that as many young people as possible, including the people from the communities, are their health is improving and they are able to participate in a sport of their choice. So this is one of the challenges. The other challenge that we can come up about is financing in sport. You know, to invest in sport is very important. Investment in sport is one key component that we really need to address. And the Ministry of Youth and Sport is working towards ensuring that there's a special sports fund where resources will be raised that can be used for young people to be able to fully participate in sport. So we are very hopeful that as we continue working, the sports industry is going to grow, because we think that this is an industry that will create jobs and many jobs for young people, because they can be employed as coaches, they can be employed as umpires, they can be employed as sport administrators, and they can be employed as athletes. And all that is part of youth empowerment. Youth empowerment is not only about young people going into the normal industry, like working in a manufacturing industry, a food processing industry, but it's also about young people realizing that as an athlete, it's also a form of job. It's also an opportunity for them to earn an income that can then contribute to improve the livelihood.
For a young person in the remotest part of Zambia, what plans do you have for them for the future so that they too can feel empowered through sport?
Thank you so much. Like I mentioned, I said the Ministry of Youth and Sport was able to revamp the community sport activities. It's a community sport program that is addressing every part of Zambia. And I did mention that we were able to distribute sports equipment through the various constituencies. So through the sports policy, we've ensured that the young person in the rural area is equally given an opportunity to participate in sport. So the community safe spaces I talked about, they are not only in the urban areas, but they are also in the rural districts, but they are also in the villages. resources at constituency level. So when you look at our community sport program, it goes all the way down to the ward level. What we need is to ensure that we have more resources and we are able to purchase more equipment and we are able to involve as many young people as possible in the various sporting activities that can be done in the rural areas. But at the same time, the ministry is also encouraging traditional games, because we want young people to realize that participation in sport is not only about them participating in these modern sport disciplines, but also traditional games is a form of sport that they can engage in and be able to participate actively.
Thanks so much, Director Sports.
Thank you so much.
There you have it, and this is why we come to the end of this week's edition of Your Platform, where we're looking at the sport for youth empowerment. I have been your host, Macpherson Mukuka, and on behalf of my camera person, Benjamin Mwera, be sure to join us next week for yet another exciting Your Platform program. For now, it's goodbye, and God bless you.